It's time to take a TO with coaches Turner and O'Neill. Produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy.
It's time to take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Your new favorite podcast features conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro sports, along with other riveting content. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, or visit www.turnerando'neill.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and more than 15 podcast platforms. We also invite you into the studio each week via YouTube. Subscribe and watch each episode on our YouTube channel at Turner O'Neill Podcast. Thanks to our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group, LLC, and Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber with Max Life Barber and Salon. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by me, DJ Krissy. Now we welcome you to today's episode as we take a TO with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Here's your host, Kurtis Cross.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. The gang is back. 4 screens, 4 people. The TNO team is... Are you surprised, Chris? You looking at the screen like you didn't know you were there too. It's all 4 of us today. You're there. Yeah, it's live. We're doing it right here, right now. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 18 of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I am Kurtis Cross, your host, and I am joined as always by Coach Steve Turner. Coach Casey O'Neill, our engineers, DJ Krissy, we thank you for listening and watching. The gang is all back. Coach Turner and Coach O'Neill are at home. DJ's Krissy is right here with me in the studio. Our premier partner for Season 3 is Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Ray is a friend of the program and the only mortgage lender we endorse right here at Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Ray Cruz is Mortgage Intelligently. We'd like to thank our partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, along with Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, and Marquise Evans, with Keller Williams Capital Properties. And for some reason, I don't see another one of our partners. That's Insurance Alliance Group. I don't know why we're not having them in the script. Insurance Alliance Group, LLC is one of our partners as well. If you would like to become a partner, a sponsor, a donor, or friend of the program, simply look and show notes of all Season 3 episodes. It's Thanksgiving week. In fact, this episode drops on Thanksgiving Day, so we are thankful for our viewers, listeners, advertisers, and friends of the program. This is our second Thanksgiving together, so gentlemen, I might as well get used to this. Coach O'Neill, tell me about your week.
Hey, listen.
All right, so Coach Turner, how was your week? No, go ahead, Coach.
No, that's it. That's fine. If you want to move on, that's good. Curtis,
I need to hear about your week.
You know what? I'm thankful for your puns, for your jokes. You know,
right.
Always good. It's good to see Krissy. Welcome back. It's just great to see your face. Big week for us. We alluded to last week when when the last episode aired. Our boy turned 21. The big 2-1.
Yes, he did.
And now we got him. Now we got him home. So the starting 5 is back together. Not the starting 5 from here on the podcast, but the starting 5 with the O'Neills. Everyone is back with the girls. Actually, it's gonna be 6 now, right? With
I was about to say, how are you gonna forget the 6?
Hey,
how are you gonna forget the 6 man?
Sensational 6. We'll give it that. We're all back right. under the roof.
So you got a full complement of folks there. That's as right. It should be. The fam is back.
But the week's been great training. A lot of outdoor training, which if folks who are getting outside the house, it is cold. So working on a mental coaching certificate, another one for me this week too, trying to continue to expand on my coaching in that field. And we're just getting ready for Thanksgiving. So can't wait to celebrate that holiday. And we're going to talk about it later in the show.
All right, Coach Turner.
Great weekend. Great week this past week. Excited to have the whole crew back on the screen tonight. And liking where I'm watching my team do. They're growing a little bit every single day. We had a great round robin scrimmage. I have to say hats off to Coach Clatchip and Mount St. Joe's for hosting myself and Coach O'Connell and Coach Eric Singletary from Sidwell Friends and Eleanor Roosevelt. So the 4 teams got together and played 3 quarters against each other and took some opportunities to help each other get better. And I've definitely seen our team just kind of grow day by day. And as I told you, I was coming in here hot tonight because we finished up with our last scrimmage tonight against Flint Hill. And I thought we did a great job of taking it to them. And good to see what some of our guys are able to do. And some of these guys are growing. And it's great to, didn't want to see football finish their season early, but it was great to get Burt Carroll and Daniel Holmes back in the lineup for us. And they're definitely paying dividends already for the group.
Wow, that fast, huh? They acclimated well, huh?
Yeah, first night out, Burt came in and had 12 points in the only quarter he played. So I said somewhere maybe on Sundays he was taking some time to get some shots up. But definitely excited about what this week brings. Our first game is the day after Turkey Day. We'll be up in Hagerstown taking on St. Mary's of Annapolis and hopefully get a chance to get a W that night and see what we can do in the finals on Saturday. But
is that a public game?
Sorry?
It's a public game?
You said public?
Yeah, can anyone buy tickets?
Oh, yeah. It's open to public.
Okay.
Open to public games at 6:15. Games are being played at St. Maria Goretti High School in their long-term tournament that they've had for years called the Mid-Atlantic Invitational Tournament, the MAIT. And just excited, man, to be back into a real season. And excited for my kids because you can just see they're jacked up and they're ready to roll and they're competing and battling for each other. And just excited for Thanksgiving. A little time off, no school tomorrow. Couple days away from the office and be able to watch a bunch of hoops and football and enjoy the family and just have a great long weekend.
Excellent. That's not new Gonzaga swag that I haven't seen before, is it?
Nah, this is actually an older polo. That's actually probably my favorite polo that we've ever had.
That's the one I have. I have that one. You told me about the
And so it's probably been my good luck one. I love it.
All right, excellent. Krissy, you're back. Thanks for being here with us tonight. We knew you had to take some time off, but what's going on? You ready for Thanksgiving, young lady?
I am ready for Thanksgiving. I'm ready for some turkey and everything that comes with it.
Some candy yams, some sweet potatoes, Krissy?
With the marshmallows.
Yeah, some collard greens?
Collard greens, yeah.
What?
Casey.
No marshmallows. Come on.
Okay, Casey. Can you calm the dog down?
That ain't my dog.
Oh, that's Steve's dog. Okay, I'm like, wow. Because you left the dog off the family list. That's why.
No, it's Steve's. That's Steve's dog. My dog's not here.
That dog wants some love. They want to get on, take a TO. That's all that is. But I'm sorry, Chris. We're doing a collard green. He doesn't do marshmallows. We're ignoring him right now. No one listen to Casey.
Oh.
Marshmallows belong on s'mores, not in my Thanksgiving dinner.
Marshmallows are for more than just s'mores.
I've never had a s'more.
What?
I've never had a s'more. As many campfires as I've had, as many s'mores have been made on my deck. I've never had one.
No kidding.
No, I've never had one, I swear.
Really? Wow.
Yes, really.
The next time you light up a fire, I'm coming over and making you a s'more.
Steve, that would be a lot. That would not be manly if you came over and made me a s'more.
I don't know what to do with this information. This is
put it on the ticker.
Really, Casey? You starting in already? Well, then, since she's busy on the ticker, my weekend was great. The highlights included the Skins won, the Lakers won on Sunday, and I might be touting 2 undefeated fantasy basketball teams, so I'm feeling good, and I'm ready for Thanksgiving dinner. And right now, the Lakers are getting beat by 24 in the second quarter. They've already dropped, the Knicks have dropped 60 on us. Anyway, before we head into a commercial break, I'd like to announce that that with last week's episode, Season 3, Episode 17, Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill, has officially decided that we're going to end the we have officially surpassed 200,000 views on YouTube. Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for being a part of our growing podcast. What started as an informal get-together, Casey, you were right there. It was hot outside. It was July. It was the week before Krissy's birthday. What began right here in a smaller studio has turned into now what we know as Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. From guests to the fun we've had, here we are. So thanks to our listeners on Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course our viewers on YouTube through 15 plus outlets, you've continued to support us. It might be with a comment or like, a view or a listen, but somehow you have found found time to support our podcast. It seems fitting that during the season of thanks, we would pass this milestone, so I'll offer a simple thanks to each of you. Kurtis has never had a s'more. What? Thanks, Krissy on the ticker. Let's go into this commercial break, and we'll be back with this week's headline. Kurt Cross here, producer of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. For more than 20 years, I have seen Gene the Barber for my haircuts. I am proud to say that Gene the Barber is now the owner of a new shop, his own shop, Max Life Barber and Salon. Max Life is family friendly with barbers and stylists for men, women, and children. Located at 6859 New Hampshire Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Max Life Barber and Salon is now the new home of Gene the Barber. Of course, you'll get Gene's signature service, but now Gene has several barbers to choose from. Schedule an appointment today by calling 240-687-7253 and tell Gene that the Take a TO team sent you.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
One Headline is brought to you by
Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual homebuyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Welcome back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Today's episode is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. This week's headline: James Franklin will lead the Penn State program for the next 10 years. Today, he was signed to a contract extension. The Nittany Lions committed to their guy. What does this mean as Penn State looks to create his chapter in the program's history, and how rearview mirror is the Joe Paterno and Sandusky era? Gentlemen.
So I'll say this. I mean, I think he's had a nice little run there. Obviously, I think the Penn State faithful would have wanted maybe, at this point, something a little bit closer to the top of the Big Ten. Obviously, it's been Ohio State's conference for the last decade or so, with others like Wisconsin and maybe Michigan kind of teetering in there, Iowa showing up a little bit. But look, I think he's a great guy. I've had many opportunities to say hello to him in my times as an assistant AD, come in. Always remember your name. Great personality, great recruiter. Always just a fun person to be around. I think the Maryland Terrapins, if you look and go way back when he was a coordinator there, missed out big time when they didn't hire him as the head coach. So he goes on to Vandy, has a nice career there, and then goes to Penn State. I'm just going to say it to all the old school Penn State folks out there. I think now is the time, and people thought about this with the Paterno and Sandusky and all that stuff, about making a change. Now, I know Alabama has never changed their uniforms, but I think there needs to be some type of splash recruiting-wise with Penn State. Just tweak some things up uniform-wise. I love the old school. They can always keep it, but that's where my head is right now. I feel like it's just same old. They come up with 2, 3, or 4 losses every year. Franklin's got to shake it up. He's got a 10-year contract. Shake it up a little bit, get a little change, a little bit of flavor in the uniform for the Nittany Lions. And, but I think he's a great guy, and I think they're in good hands. But, you got to get the recruits in there somehow, and he's got to be somewhere close to a national championship within the next 3 to 4 years.
So you're saying for your money, if this is going to be his thing, they're committing to him for 10 years. You'd like to see a corner turned where he stamps the program as his own. And some of what you're talking about can do that. Now, Steve, before you speak, a couple of months ago, you said you were concerned with their schedule coming up and you hope that, the schedule doesn't go the wrong way. They get these wins and he doesn't become the fall guy for it. Well, today they said he's not the fall guy. So that probably makes you happy because I think you're a Franklin fan, right?
Definitely Franklin fan. Like Casey said, 10 years down at Gonzaga, he's always been a guy that comes down no matter where he's at recruiting. I, like Casey, have said it for the longest time. Maryland made the hugest mistake when they did not hire him. And it's been Vanderbilt and Penn State's game. And now Penn State said, all right, we believe in you. We trust in you. I love the tradition. But I do like Casey said, it might take a little bit of a couple special games where they come up with some different uniforms, just kind of bring a little flavor there. They have all the tools necessary to be able to be successful there at Penn State. I think he's close. Love to see it happen here soon. I'm like you too, Casey. I think he's got to be chasing it in the next few years here with them stamping him the way they did today. But hats off to Coach Franklin and continued success. And we're rooting for him. I'm certainly rooting for him. Hope to see him have a chance to go take it to the top of the Big Ten and chase that national championship.
Well, they did not disclose the financial terms of the deal, but 10 years is a commitment. And I wonder if some of those changes you guys are talking about are coming. Because, again, when you don't see too many 10-year contracts. You see 3, 5, maybe 7. When you commit to 10, you're saying you're our guy. Obviously, if you commit to 5, you're saying you're our guy, but, you're our guy. We're giving you a few recruiting classes. We're giving you several years to get this thing going. We believe in you. And if a guy is comfortable, then maybe a guy can, make some of those changes. And he can feel like it's his. He's not walking through the door and looking over his shoulder. He no longer is looking over his shoulder if he was. And we wish the best to the Penn State Nittany Lions. I hope all of that stuff is in the rearview mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your one headline. O'Neill Development is a custom builder in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Eastern Shore. Recognized nationally as a premier builder, O'Neill Development has received awards for historic restoration and urban infill work. Committed to best practices in green building, O'Neill Development also provides support in budgeting, architect selection, and design development during the critical stages of planning. O'Neill Development, building, remodeling, and development since 1975. Find us at www.o'neilldev.com or call 301-840-9310.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Winsight Media delivers connections and intelligence to four of the fastest growing verticals: convenience retailing, grocery businesses, restaurants, and non-commercial food service through broad and cutting-edge platforms. No company is better positioned to meet the food industry's needs than Winsight. Connect with us at www.winsightmedia.com.
The Starting Five is brought to you by...
From Washington, D.C. to Ocean City, Woodbridge to Columbia, Richmond to Virginia Beach, the hottest DJs are right here. The Mid-Atlantic Professional DJ Association.
Dynamic DJ Entertainment, the most experienced professional DJ service in the DMV. For 35 years, our DJ talent has been the energy behind more than 14,000 events. If you're planning your wedding, school dance, corporate event, Sweet 16, or any event, our talented team has the right mix of music and MC skills to bring the energy and turn any event into an epic event. In 35 years, our DJs have performed in front of more than 2 million guests in 26 states. Our services include dynamic DJ talent, karaoke, giant games, atmospheric effects, movie nights, and more. Contact us today and let's make your next event an epic event. Dynamic DJ Entertainment. Visit thepartybeginsnow.com or call 301-942-4500 to get the party started.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. starting five. Welcome back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. The starting five is brought to you by Dynamic DJ Entertainment. I am your host, Kurtis Cross, and I'm with Coach Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Our engineer for this and every episode is DJ Krissy. We are up to our weekly starting five. 5 questions I'll ask of each coach, and they have 30 seconds each to answer these questions. They can defer only one question, and if they go over their 30 seconds, DJ Krissy, what will happen? All right. Steve's not happy with you.
I thought the womp womp womp.
I mean, you don't know what's coming, Steve. You never know what's coming. She's looking at the board. She's about to do something. Krissy, what are you doing? All right, gentlemen, let's do it. Casey, I'm gonna start with you. What was the first significant purchase you made with your own money, whenever that might have been? When you were like 4 years old and you was like hustling Bama's playing dice on the corner, what did you buy with your first, significant amount of money?
It had to be like a sports equipment, and I'm going to go with, probably like either a basketball, shout out Coach Turner, or a pair of like basketball shoes, like where I wanted something really bad that I got. So that's what I go with.
Right. Coach Turner, I know you were mowing lawns when you were a kid, just like Adam does. So what significant purchase did you make with your own money that you remember for the first time?
Came from mowing lawns and shoveling snow.
Okay.
And I was into BMX, and I bought myself a Hutch Trick Star. Used to ride quarter pikes and all that good stuff. People wouldn't even know that about Coach Turner.
How about you two?
But I bought my own bike that I used to ride and do tricks on.
Well, if you call it my own money, the most significant thing I ever bought was I borrowed $100 from my grandfather and started my business. That was the best $100 I ever spent in my life. Here we are 35 years later. Krissy, what about you?
I saved up all of my money from doing chores and stuff, and I bought myself a Super Nintendo.
Oh, she got a significant purchase out of that one, and she said it with no hesitation. All right, Coach Turner, 4-day work week, 10 hours a day, or would you keep the current 40-hour week format, 5 days a week?
I already do both, so it wouldn't matter.
But if you could have every Friday off or every Monday off, what would you take? Would you take that?
I'd take that Friday or Monday off.
Okay. What about you, Coach Casey? You want 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, or keep the 5-day work week?
10 hours a day for sure. To have the Friday or the Monday off, come on, no brainer.
We put in 10 hours anyway, right?
Right. I mean, as a coach, you're putting in, probably 12. So it's insane.
All right, Coach O'Neill, pick 4 people to navigate an extremely tough escape room with you.
Got to pick my wife first. Super smart, super motivated, super engaged.
And she don't want to be locked in with you, so she getting out.
And then I'm going to take Coach Turner with me, DJ Krissy.
Okay.
Probably Kurtis.
Wow. That's what we're doing. Coach Turner, it's you, and you have to pick 4 more folks to help you get out of that escape room. And keep in mind, we've been to escape rooms before, so you might have pulled some good cards there, Casey. Coach Turner.
I'm going to go with Leah, number 1.
Good answer.
Now, I've done some escape rooms with her. She's good. Christian, my oldest. My mom. And I'm going to go with one of my boys from grade school, Toby Hyder.
All right. Shout out to Toby.
Toby Hyder.
Sorry, Jared.
Jared's at college.
He escaped the time we did it for him. We had a birthday party for him. Him and his boys escaped. But that's my 4.
All right. I'm definitely picking Paula and Krissy. Those are the first 2. I'm going to pick Lynn, and I'm going to pick probably Sean. Julian would be no help. To me. So it's Paula, Krissy, Lynn, and Sean. Krissy's worried about the ticker. We're going to come back to Coach Casey O'Neill. Here we go. We're back to it again. Each week we come back to more truths and one lie. All right, Casey, I know you want to start writing these down. All right? 3 truths and one lie about me, Casey. I've cruised to Jamaica. I've cruised to Canada. It's all about cruising. I've cruised to Bermuda. I've cruised to Cuba. Which one of those have I not done?
Now, are you going to ask, and then is Steve going to go, or do you want me to tell you right now?
You tell me right now, and you and Steve both get to answer.
Ooh, baby. Here's the thing. Cuba would be like the easy one, because for many, 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 many years, you couldn't cruise there and then go on the shores. Canada, I feel like you've been there because you've done the Alaska trip. Bermuda, I'm going to say Bermuda.
Okay, time out. Let me put a caveat on there. I have done Alaska, but I will tell you that's not what I considered when I wrote this question.
Well, but you see how my brain is working.
Right.
Okay. That part of the country. I'm going to stick with Bermuda.
Okay. Coach Turner. I've cruised to Jamaica, Canada, Bermuda, Cuba.
I'm going to say, I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess because I think it is too obvious. Cuba.
All right. Shame on both of you who both got it wrong because
I was going to say Canada, but I went with Cuba because I just felt it was too obvious.
There are pictures in my home that you have both been in with us in Cuba.
But I didn't know you cruised there. I knew you went there, but I didn't know you cruised there.
All right. I have not cruised to Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica, ever.
Wow.
Done Cuba, done Bermuda a few times, done Canada. I was thinking on the East Coast cruise we did, Krissy, but I guess when we did Alaska, we did go to Canada as well. Steve, you are rapid fire right now. NBA playoffs or MLB playoffs? Which are more exciting?
NBA.
Tell us a lesson or rule that mama had in place back in the day that you are thankful for today.
Finish what you start.
People might be surprised to find out that you already ruined it because you said the BMX bike thing, but people might, you answered that before I asked it. And folks, they never get any of these questions ahead of time, so he just walked into that one. But people might be surprised to find out that I fill in the blank.
When I was younger, I used to love going roller skate.
Okay. You can enact one miracle that benefits the world. What would it be?
Cure cancer.
Go back to college. What would you study?
Today?
Yeah.
Some business and tech.
Okay. Smart. Yeah, that's the wave of the future. Casey O'Neill, you are on the hot seat, rapid fire fashion. You have 1 minute to address the entire nation. What 2 key points do you discuss?
Ooh.
I would discuss. I'd have to do something with how we're treating our planet, how we're treating the country, right? In terms of, I'm not saying global warming, but how we treat it and how we handle our trash and things like that. And then 2, I would talk racism and just how we need to learn to be together and enough is enough. And, can't stand people that think they're better than others.
I don't think any of us would have 2 different things to talk about. I think we'd all be on the same page there. I am most like my dad in fill the blank.
Man, I think it has to do with a lot of things, but the first thing that comes to mind is just being corny and somebody that wants to just laugh.
All right. You can live inside one TV show. Which one is it?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. When I was little, I wasn't allowed to watch Three's Company. That would have been fun to live there. But one TV show, I would say, man, Hawaii 5-0, baby. Let's do it.
All right. Work for the circus, clean up horse stalls, or work as a pooper scooper?
Circus. I work in the
All right.
circus.
All right.
So you're saying work for the circus, but I had those 2 options?
You work for the circus, but you have to travel and you're never home. clean up horse stalls, or work as a pooper scooper?
I'll stick with the circus.
All right. That means you don't get to see the girls. You don't get to see Erica because you're always
Come on,
traveling.
man. They're coming with me. They're traveling.
All right. It sounds like you just put your family in the circus. I don't know what act they are, but you just put them in the circus.
Family circus.
That was a magazine. Name something you own, like an heirloom or collectible that money cannot buy. Maybe something passed down from somebody.
It's a ring that has our family shield on it that was given to the young men in the family when you graduated from high school, and it has the top of our family crest from Ireland, and it's an arm and dagger. I have it tattooed on my leg, and that's a pretty special gift.
I thought you were going to say the autographed CD from DJ Ecstasy that I gave you. That's money can't buy that, brother. Come on now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting five. The starting five. A Squared Home and Office Solutions is the go-to source for home or office network and audio-visual solutions. We can help with smart home integration, wireless networking, media rooms, security systems, and more. We will link technology to your lifestyle seamlessly. Read our reviews online. Visit homeandofficesolutions.com for more info or call 240-356-8832. A Squared Home and Office Solutions. We are home advisor, screened, and approved.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our friends of the program: Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Sean Parker, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, Timothy Whittier. If you'd like to become a friend of the program, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. Collins Funeral Home has served families of Greater Washington with compassion and kindness since 1939. Our friends John and Terry McHugh carry on this family tradition into the third generation. The McHugh brothers, along with their experienced funeral directors and caring staff, are ready to assist you at any time. Whether you have experienced a loss, need to make plans in advance, or simply have a question, please contact them to discuss how they can assist at your time of need. Visit collinsfuneralhome.com or call 301-593-9500.
This segment of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by World Class Training, locations in Rockville, Maryland and Alexandria, Virginia. Performance training and physical therapy. That's what you'll find at Healthy Baller. Hi, this is Kurt Cross, producer of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. Paula and I have our 13 and 11-year-old children training with the wonderful crew at Healthy Baller Rockville. Healthy Baller has created a customized training experience for our kids, and we are super pleased with the results. Their excellent training and dedication to each athlete is apparent from your first consultation through the ongoing training sessions. Paula and I can personally attest to the results. Become your own success story. They offer group and team training, individual workouts, or semi-private training in Rockville and Alexandria. Call 844-622-5537 or visit healthyballer.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded.
Now, back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. This segment's partner is Healthy Baller. Let's talk some NFL, folks. We also want to tell our people, don't forget, this is the third or fourth week in a row that Joey T's episode drops on Tuesdays. So if you want to hear Joey T, he's getting a lot of traction, too, behind that 2-minute drill. I've seen some people retweet some stuff. So Joey T, he comes in the studio now and records because he wasn't happy with the way it sounded when he would call in. So he comes into the studio, he records, and there's some real good content going on there. He pulls some gems when it comes to fantasy football. Gentlemen, lady, the Washington football team gets another win. Does their schedule, sort of look favorable down the line? Seahawks are reeling a little bit. The Raiders, they're in trouble. The Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. I mean, Does the Redskins schedule look favorable coming down the stretch?
No.
You don't think so?
Krissy, you don't think so?
I think like Joey T and I discussed earlier, I think the toughest part of the schedule is in the rearview mirror. The Seahawks are well under 500. The Raiders have been losing since they've had their issues. The Cowboys, they couldn't even put up a touchdown last week, and we know they're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but they dropped 41 week and they can't even score a touchdown the next week. The Eagles, they're kind of rising high, and the Giants, well, they fired their offensive coordinator today. So, what are we thinking about Washington? Is there a chance?
There's always a chance. I think the schedule looks it gives them a chance, hence them winning 2 in a row, especially beating – I'm watching the Buccaneers last night, and I'm like, how did we beat this team a week and a half ago? It was like blowing my mind. But it gives them a chance. You're right on the Seahawks and the Raiders. But, look, Cowboys and Redskins are always kind of up in the air. Who knows? The Eagles are trending up right now. That's going to be a difficult out. And then the Giants, we always make that game tighter than it should be. It makes it fun. I like seeing the young man. Well, he's not that young, but Taylor Heineke, who's now made his, I think, 10th or 11th start in the NFL. So we're seeing him have a little swagger on the field. He just makes it fun. And he's almost like a bridge gap, right? Knowing that if we could get another quarterback in the offseason or draft somebody, which I don't know who we draft, but good things are happening. What's weird is that defensively they're playing much more organized defensive football, getting off third downs without those 2 incredible defensive ends. That's going to be an issue there. Definitely. It just makes it fun. It makes it fun to watch and be relevant this late in the season.
Well, Heineke is really doing some things right now, and I'm not going to suggest that he's anyone's number one guy, but he's tough. He's making throws that he shouldn't make. You saw the play was at 3rd or 4th down. He was basically in the grasp and flung it for a first down. He's making some things happen, and I'm liking to see that. Steve, where are Washington football team? Where are they?
It's hard to say, but it's been fun to be able to watch them win some games. And as a fan of them, you were worried that they were going to just get buried, and they've surprised us and won some games that they probably shouldn't. And down the stretch, I could see us losing some games that people don't think we should lose. So they can continue to just be competitive and hopefully get some things done on this off season. I'm excited about the direction. We got to get another quarterback for sure, but I do like the fact that the team is rallied around Heineke, and that makes a big difference. Nice.
Have the confidence of that locker room.
I'll take a 3X for Secret Santa. I'll take a 3X for the Secret Santa.
All right.
I'm happy for the Skins. It's interesting to see the teams like you talk. I know what you're ready to talk about, trending up and trending down. I even watched Stephen A. today with his top 5. I think he didn't know what the hell he's talking about, but we'll see how they go.
All right, trending up: Patriots, Chiefs, Titans. What say you, Coach O'Neill?
Well, Patriots 100% trending up.
Wow.
Chiefs 100% trending up. Titans were the best team in the NFL. They slipped up a little bit to a team they shouldn't have lost to this past weekend. I think that was a little bit of a surprise to everybody going down to the Texans, but it happens, right? Those things happen. I think slowly but surely what the Patriots are doing, not only defensively but offensively, with a young quarterback, with a quarterback that was kind of looked over in the first round. Don't put it past Coach Belichick to get those guys ready. And the Chiefs, they look super, super dangerous. And what I like about the Chiefs is they're a team. When the offense on the field, the defensive guys are going crazy when they make plays, vice versa. That's what I just hope for with our Washington football team. So, Coach T?
I think definitely those 3 teams are in the hunt. I'm just waiting to see how the next few weeks go for everybody. See the separation.
The Patriots, we talked, the sports world talked a lot of trash about not having Tom Brady, and now we see that he held the power in terms of the success in New England. And I'm not suggesting that he didn't hold some power, but we slept on Belichick last year by saying this is what happens when you don't have Tom, and he's putting together a team. I can't tell you half their roster, and they're 7-4, and they're minimum tied with Buffalo at the top of the division, right?
Yeah, right there.
So trending down, Cleveland, Raiders, and Seattle. What's going on there?
I mean, Cleveland, look, they've had all sorts of debacles going on, but obviously with, Odell making his move and getting out of there, the Raiders have been a mess off the field, on the field, whatever's going on. I know they're, super frustrated. Seattle's one I can't really understand. I mean, maybe Russell came back, too soon, but they look bad. They look bad.
Their defense looks bad. That's the thing, and that's what
I know.
their head on.
I
right?
know. It's definitely trending down. The Cleveland one surprised me the most. I don't think anybody thought Seattle's in a tough division in the NFC West. The Raiders, no one was really expecting them to be that good out of the gate.
But you kind of thought Cleveland had some energy behind them to start the season,
right? Going in, getting to the playoffs last year, and Baker doing his thing, and two great running backs. But there's injuries. They got injuries. They had issue with Odell, and it's a mess. And then you see the Steelers slowly but surely kind of creeping back into some sort of relevance. So
they're being who the Steelers usually are, right?
That's right. Well coached, and Cincinnati's hanging around. So I agree with you, trending down, but would like to see some more sustainability out of the Cleveland Browns, but just don't see it.
Steve, you got something to say, brother?
Yeah, Baker's got to shut his mouth. Like, you're gonna. I understand you don't want to be booed by your fans, but sometimes you got to shut your mouth.
They need Johnny Manziel back.
You might be right, but him saying those are the same fans who are talking when we're trying to get our offense going. Well, if that's what's causing you not to run the offense, then maybe you should get out of the hot seat.
Well said, sir. Well said.
All right. Is this the week, gentlemen, that our Lions break through and get a win? Are we all pulling for the Lions?
Hey, folks, wait.
I am.
Hold on, Steve. Wait to eat your turkey and all the stuffing and the mushrooms and marshmallow pie, whatever Krissy's eating over there for Thanksgiving. Because if you watch the Bears and the Lions, you're going to throw up. It's going to be awful. So just wait till later. That is going to be a terrible game. I'm predicting, yes, they win. They beat the Bears.
I'm going 31-13 Lions. Let's write this down. I'm going, you know what?
Are we the only people in America putting a bet on that game?
I guess another tie.
31-13. I'm calling it Lions.
I'm just looking at those Midwestern Chicago Bear fans, when they lose to the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Casey, what you got?
I don't think the over-under is going to be that high, so I'm going to say Lions 24, Bears 17.
I still owe you $1 from a bet we made a month ago. Krissy, the Lions have not won a game this season. They've had a defeated season where they never won a game before. Right now they're 0-9-1 or something. They have a tie. What are the Lions going to do on
Can I change my score real quick?
Go for it. I
want a dramatic field goal to win the game, so I'm going to stick with the Bears with 17. It's going to be 19-17. They're going to be down 17-16, and they're going to kick a game-winning field goal.
All right.
It's going to doink off the crossbar and just
go in.
Right.
All right, DJ Krissy, what you got?
How much do the Bears suck?
They both suck.
They're
the
3-7.
Lions really suck. They're 3-7.
We lost 5 in a row.
The Lions are going to come away with the win.
Okay. You going to give me a score?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And think about it. Steve, what you got?
17-13 Lions.
All right. We're all going Lions, Krissy. You're going Lions too, but I need a score from you.
16-10.
16-10. So I'm the one who's flashing all the leather on the high scores. Okay.
It's gonna be a shootout. In the Motor City.
According to me, it's not the Silverdome anymore, is it? Where they play Ford Field or something?
It's Ford Field. Yeah, that's right. It used to be the Pontiac Silverdome.
Silverdome, because on Thanksgiving we gonna watch our boy run over everybody, right, Steve?
That's
for them,
right.
Detroit Lions. Why can't Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders.
What happened to Billy White Shoes Johnson? Whatever happened to him? You have no idea?
He was a bad man, though.
Yeah, he was a bad boy. All right, College football, Georgia, OSU, Alabama, and Cincinnati. How did OSU jump above Alabama? Maybe y'all can tell me that.
I mean, I think it's the convincing win they had over a team like Michigan State. I mean, they absolutely throttled Michigan State, a good Michigan State team that beat Michigan, albeit Michigan kind of blew that one and Michigan State came back. But they were a top 10 team, and they beat them 56-7. Alabama's, while they're still winning by 10 or 12, 14 points, they're kind of struggling to get by teams like Arkansas last week, and you've seen it with others. So those college playoff predictions and rankings are what they are, but OSU looks good, and it's shaping up to be an incredible Saturday of football with some incredibly meaningful games. Oklahoma. What's that?
I mean, I said, who you telling? They got some games coming up, right?
It's going to be it's rivalry weekend, right? You get out of Thanksgiving and you're watching on Saturday. Oklahoma State, Michigan, Ohio State. You got Alabama, Auburn. I mean, it's Clemson, South Carolina, even though neither team is relevant. I mean, it's a huge weekend. The one thing I know coming out of this weekend is Georgia is going to stay undefeated. They'll be the number 1 seed going into the SEC, championship. But they got Georgia Tech. So it's one of the best college football weekends there is.
In the SEC championship, Georgia will be playing who? Do we know that yet?
I'll look it up while Coach T's talking.
Coach Turner, another week has gone by. Who worked their way in and out of the conversation? What do you think about OSU taking over that second spot?
I mean, that second spot doesn't mean anything. It's just colored jersey where you're playing Bama.
Georgia would play Alabama, by the way.
Georgia will play Alabama. Alabama clinch.
Even if Alabama were to lose to Auburn, which they're not, they'd still have the tiebreaker and play Georgia in that championship.
If Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship, what does that do to Alabama?
I think it knocks them out with 2 losses.
Okay. All right.
I think it knocks them out, depending on what a couple of those other teams. Again, it's a huge weekend. People are going to keep talking about Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati's better than Alabama, but go ahead, Coach.
I think they'll find a way to be the 4 seed, whatever.
But you could have Notre Dame in there. If Michigan were to be a 1-loss team and to pull off something with Ohio State.
That's the team to not sleep on.
Right.
Michigan can win out. I think they sneak in.
I also think Oklahoma or Oklahoma State have an opportunity as well. If those teams one of those teams runs the table and wins.
I think Oklahoma.
Yeah, it could happen.
But not Coastal Carolina.
Not Coastal Carolina. What about UTSA?
UTSA. They were in there for a minute. Have they worked their way back in? Are they in there?
They're in the top 25. This is the Roadrunners, baby. They're 11-0.
Oh, we got somebody new to root for. Oh, God, we got the Roadrunners, baby. You better watch it. The Roadrunners are coming, baby. But you know who's not coming is those Florida Gators because Dan Mullen got fired. And, well, he should have. We're putting together some ugly games. You're losing to teams like, didn't they lose to Montgomery College last week? I think they lost to Montgomery College last week. Florida.
Which campus? Was it the Rockville campus or the Germantown? I think it was the Germantown.
It was a hybrid campus. It was a combined.
They merged the team.
Right, they merged the team, right? For funding and all that stuff. I think Florida has to make a big splash. I think they have to get a name because we've tried this, not good old boy, but we've tried this nice, wholesome figure who came from a good system. We need a big name. This is what the Florida teams or fans are going to demand. We can take 1 or 2 losses in a season, but when you're not even bowl eligible right now, this late in the season, something's got to give. 2 weeks prior to that, before a bye, I think, they fired like half the offensive coordinators or someone. But no, Dan Mullen, he had to go. And so what names are out there right now that have gotten fired midseason or who are not coaching that Florida can look to? Any ideas? You guys know more about the college football game than I do, so I don't have that answer.
They could go look for Ed Orgeron, who's obviously bounced around a bunch. Obviously, I don't think that's the fit. I would say it's not surprising that they fire the coach and then Penn State ups James Franklin contract in the same week, right? Opportunity right there where he's like, listen, put your money where your mouth is right here because I could go down the Gators. And so they lock him up. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But who knows? I don't know enough of the college coaches, but they've got to make a splash. They've got to do something because there's just too much in that program.
They go after a Georgia coordinator.
Really? Now, who's that? Name we know?
I don't know the names, but I'm just saying SEC. They're the big dog right now.
Okay. I hear you. Because Casey O'Neill took away some of my thunder, in this next line I'm going to talk about, you got Ohio State, Michigan. You got Florida State, University of Florida, as if that even matters anymore. Penn State versus Michigan State. I'll be looking at that one. And OK State. What is Oklahoma going to do? Because we've been concerned about their defense. They had a terrible loss. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be. And Caleb Williams is chomping at the bit to still hold that top spot. What's going on in Oklahoma, guys? If they run the table, Casey, you think they can get into the top 4 picture. What's Oklahoma going to do this weekend?
I personally feel that they, while not knowing much about the Cowboys, Oklahoma State Cowboys, it's going to make for good television. I think Caleb gets the start, and I think this is an incredible opportunity. While he had a coming out party for him on the biggest stage to kind of do what he does, and obviously, I think that they stick with him, right? They stick with him, and I think the team rallies around when he's playing. As long as he gets rid of the ball a little bit quicker, seems to hold on to it a little bit long. Oklahoma's still, kind of in control of their destiny.
All right, Coach Turner.
No, I would agree. I feel like Oklahoma is definitely in control of destiny. As I keep saying every week, I'm concerned with that defense.
Yeah.
Right. You've talked about that all season long. Before we go to break, I got to give a shout out locally to our WCAC teams. Shout out to St. John's College High School. They went ahead and they won their side of the WCAC in the football game. They took care of good counsel. And hey, there's a surprise. Riken came up here. They came up to PG County Sports and Learning Complex. They beat the previously undefeated Carroll. What's Carroll? The Lions, right?
Lions.
Beat the Lions, who had a great season. But shout out to St. John's College High School. And, of course, we know Pat Ward down there. And St. Mary's Riken, they won their side of the WCAC. And, Steve, I think we knew that the reign of terror would be over. Blair got their first playoff home game in school history. They went ahead and they smashed Laurel. And they went to Wise High School. And they got straight obliterated. It was like 62-2. They did get a safety. What? Well, they got their boots smoked. Cuz look, we are a media.
Leave it at they got their boots smoked. We didn't have to tell a score.
Look, we are a media outlet. We have to be fair about it. We report fairly. Okay, they got their boots smoked, okay? Great season. Shout out to Joe Urso. Shout out to Ricardo Vilars. You guys have done your thing over there, but that reign is over. So anyway, that's some high school football. We are now completely going to turn our attention to high school basketball in the upcoming episodes. But until then, we will be back after these messages. Next Level Lacrosse. Train like a Spartan. Next Level Lacrosse is dedicated to providing a terrific lacrosse experience that is intensely focused on player development and character formation. Players at all levels will improve significantly through professional coaching and carefully designed training programs. We stress proper technique and a tireless work ethic. From beginning programs to rec leagues, travel clubs to summer programs, we develop the young and experienced athletes alike. Next Level Lacrosse has a rich tradition of running the best middle and high school lacrosse leagues in the DMV area. You'll find us at www.nextlevelspartans.com or call 240-497-1460.
We invite your questions, comments, and show ideas. Simply go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Submit Your Idea.
Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our partners, sponsors, and donors. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, the Insurance Alliance Group LLC, and Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media, and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon.
This segment of Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by...
If you're buying or selling your home, start your journey. Your goals plus our expertise equals success. Welcome to Keller Williams Capital Properties. Let us work with you to find and purchase the home of your dreams. Working with us guarantees you the local knowledge and market information you need. We are local experts with a reputation for excellence. We're here to help guide you through every step of the process with expert advice and representation. For more information, contact Marquise Evans at 301-357-5608 or visit www.yourmyagent.com. Keller Williams Capital Properties and Marquise Evans. www.yourmyagent.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back with Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill. Thanks for listening and watching as we enjoy meeting you here each week. This segment's partner is Marquise Evans and Keller Williams Capital Properties. Let's get into some hoop talk, folks. Let's just start with this. For the first time that I can ever remember, the women's national poll was delayed because yesterday, University of South Carolina and UConn played a number 1-2 matchup. As you know, the polls usually come out on Monday morning. They did not put out this poll. I believe in the conspiracy that they wanted to give UConn a chance to win so UConn could take that top spot. Well, let me tell you something. Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks felt a different way about that because it was a good game. It was back and forth, but in the end, South Carolina won by 16. They started the game up either 6-zip or 10-zip, and then UConn went on a very nice run. I hadn't watched any UConn this year. Let me tell you, you guys have experienced it before because you've coached the players. I did not coach this player. It was a wonderful thing to see AZ Fudd get in that game. And she got plenty of burn. You know, she's not getting one or two. What, Steve?
No, she didn't.
She didn't what?
She didn't get plenty of burn.
Dog, I saw her in the second quarter. I saw her in the third quarter as a freshman coming.
Here's my point. She went out the night before and had 18 points. He didn't play her in the first quarter. He played her some limited minutes in the second quarter and didn't play her a lot in the second half. Something is going on. And I have my guesses, but I'm not going to put it out there.
Okay. It was wonderful to see AZ Fudd get in that game. And like I said, South Carolina felt a different way about that poll. South Carolina has maintained the number 1 spot, and they've got a lot of height, and they've got some depth, and their defense held UConn to 3 or 5 points in the fourth quarter, I think. Yeah, 3. It was 3 points in the fourth quarter. People will have to deal with the Gamecocks. They're going to have to deal with the Gamecocks. But congratulations to Dawn Staley.
I think the girl Boston would be the best player in the country.
She's a monster, isn't she?
Unbelievable.
Just a monster.
When she decided to take everything in the paint, she was a problem.
Right.
I think they exposed what UConn doesn't have is physical strength inside.
They do not have physical strength inside. You're 100% correct. University of Maryland women, those Terrapins. I said it a few weeks ago. I said I think this could be the year. One of the reasons I say that is because Brenda did not cupcake the front end of her schedule. Usually, it's Mount St. Mary's. It's, University of North Carolina, Wilmington. It's Salisbury University. It's Towson. It's UMBC. No, she had a couple of those on there, but check this out. They already beat Baylor. They got NC State and Stanford back-to-back. That's back-to-back-to-back top-ranked teams that they're playing, and Brenda wants that smoke, and she's taking it on so far. I don't think they could beat Carolina or South Carolina, but she wants that smoke. Thoughts on what Maryland's doing over there, Casey? You look like you gave me a sign of approval.
No, I absolutely did. Kudos to the staff for scheduling those games. You're not going to get any better by what you mentioned in playing some of the lower to mid-level teams right off the bat. Might as well get after it. It's a big win over Baylor. Love to see the Lady Terps get some energy and make a run here. So,
all right, Coach Turner, what say you?
I love what Brenda's doing. I mean, I think she has a team that can go deep into the tournament. And with the group of women she brought back, I think she's realized, hey, challenge them early. I think we're going to win enough games to get into the big dance anyway. Let's see what we're made of now versus some of those teams that we could end up seeing again later on in the season. So, I mean,
I'll tell you what I'm not hearing.
She has an unbelievable point guard in Miss Owusu.
Whose
Love the
name I'm not
game.
hearing a lot. Whose name I'm not hearing a lot, which makes me happy because that means they're a little bit more balanced. Because last year it was all about Owusu, right?
Well, just watching those plays she made against Baylor, she's not having to do all the scoring now. She's able to bring people to her and make other players better, and she's finding them for buckets and scoring when she needs to, which is a great thing. I've loved her game ever since she was in high school in the WCAC, and she's
Was she
certainly
PBI? Where was she?
PBI.
Yeah, I called some of those guys. Yeah, okay.
And she's definitely leading the charge for Maryland. So excited for Brenda, and hope to see them make a long run into the tournament.
And of course, the schedule included a Longwood, but you also had Villanova. You had UNC. You had Baylor, NC State, Stanford, Miami, Rutgers. I mean, Rutgers is down this year, but I mean, you're getting some games. December 12th, circle it, South Carolina. That will let us know where everyone stands. And then there's a Coppin State game. So if South Carolina does them in, they're going to get real healthy off that Coppin State game. Gentlemen, I turn the mic over to you. Men's college hoops. The only thing I can say is that Gonzaga, UCLA are playing, and I believe Michigan's had a couple of losses, and someone else had a couple of losses where they've fallen down the ranks. But what's going on in the college basketball world, gentlemen?
I think you're seeing the teams with the best veteran groups are going to be right there at the thick of things. So UCLA, heavy group back. Gonzaga, another heavy group back. It's going to be fun to watch those two get after it tonight. Cincinnati. Did you see how they put a whipping on Illinois? And that's a group that's got new coach Wes Miller, Carolina grad, who's got a group of guys looking tough. But I think you're just seeing some of these schools with the veteran players give these big name guys hell, and I think teams are going to have to be a little smart on how they go into the portal. I think, again, as crazy as it sounds, man, Calipari has figured it out again. We went the one and dones, and now he's figuring out how to lock in the right transfers. Musselman definitely is the guy who's owned the transfer portal. He was doing it before they talked about it.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, tell me a little something about, as I look at the rankings, St. Bonaventure in the top 20.
Oh, veteran group. And he can coach. And they won a big game the other night against Clemson. Clemson was kicking their butt. And they walked them down defensively, made all the right plays, took the right shots, and they played with a lot of confidence. It's surprising that Coach Smith is still there. Somebody definitely is going to probably snatch him up after this year.
And that's the alma mater of one of our buddies, right?
David Vanderpool.
Mr. David, who's up there in Brooklyn right now. Absolutely. I'm not watching too many college hoops. I did watch Michigan the other day in a loss that they had. But, we're big on Michigan because you've got one player there and there's a second WCAC player there. How are they looking? Tell me about these losses. I didn't get to see it.
I think some teams have done a very good job of scheming on Hunter. Like he down the stretch in that loss 2 games ago, he didn't touch the ball. Like they collapsed and doubled down on him, and he didn't even really get some great touches in places where he normally can make plays. And so some guys are going to have to start making shots from the outside to open things up to allow him to have some more space to work in there. If they do that, Michigan will be back in the thick of things. I mean, they've got enough talent to be able to win and be successful. Now it's just finding that right chemistry with the pieces that they have. I'm not afraid of them losing a couple more games, but I think they'll be in the thick of things and make it into the big dance.
All right, let's switch to the NBA. LeBron and Isaiah Stewart. What happened in the not the Palace anymore, and it wasn't the Malice, but what happened out there? Little Caesars Arena, I think it is.
I want to go first on this because I'm a little frustrated about this one.
Okay.
I listen to Stephen A., who I like him, but sometimes he can annoy the hell out of me. Right. And I love today where J.J. Redick went right back at him. So Stephen A.'s take, and so is small man receiver from Tampa Bay, Keyshawn. Their feeling is Stewart is in the most fault. I can't agree with them. Certainly not. I understand that you protect the brand, and Stewart was a little extra, still running around and trying to chase and, kind of causing them what we would call a melee. But LeBron did not do that on accident. That was a clear punch to the face. And I don't know. I mean, I think he realized in the moment that he was wrong pretty quick, and he tried to rectify it. But at the same time, to say that like Isaiah Stewart was more in the fault than the guy who initiated the hit, I can't agree with. And I'm not looking to have LeBron's name tarnished because I don't think LeBron is that type of guy. I think in the moment he was being held, he wanted to get the guy off of him. His fist ended up catching him in the face, and stuff happens. But you can't keep just protecting the names because of their names when if they're wrong, they're wrong. And in this instance, to me, LeBron was wrong.
Steve, I'd completely agree on that. It's
Were we
one
talking
where
about an elbow though? You said a fist.
It wasn't an elbow. If you look at it,
no, he came with the
His fist is what connected to his face. It wasn't an elbow. They were locked. They were locked in it. If it would have been the elbow, he wouldn't have ever caught him in the face.
The blood coming down and you're getting fired up and more. I mean, it was kind of uncomfortable, like how uncontrollable he was. And then he's like, I'm fine. And then he runs back down the tunnel. Steve, I heard what you were talking about because I heard Stephen A. Smith's take on it. And he's like, you got to be under control. But like humans are humans, man. You're in there in that situation. I agree with that. But for the fact that people said he should be suspended longer than 2 games, I'm like, nothing really happened. There was no outside of LeBron hitting him. Nothing else happened. He was pissed off, wanted to retaliate, and to say that he should take 2 more games than that is a little bit crazy to me. So I completely agree with you on that. I do think LeBron was trying to apologize, but not in a way that I think his apology kind of pissed off Isaiah even more.
Well, I think what probably pissed him off, and I think if you've been in a position where you played sport, not necessarily somebody hits you, but you see blood and you start tasting blood, you get a little hyped up.
You get charged, right?
And so I think once he, as they like to say, he felt.
Hey, speaking of charged up, that's not my dog.
My fault. So, hey. We got company coming? Yeah, okay.
Where's the ticker?
I know, right?
Right?
I mean,
Milo.
I get talked about for not having a dog on a s'more.
I got the ticker ready. Milo barking on Bamas.
So
barking on Bamas.
Barking on Bamas.
He doesn't agree with me or Steve or somebody, right?
So as I was saying, when they, you feel yourself leaking, and he's got blood ripping down his face, and at that point it's like you're pissed. So I can see why he kept going after him, barking on Bamas.
Barking on Bamas.
Krissy, you got it again. You did it again. So
Bamas has to be a part of this episode.
And then it's like it's one of those ones too that's tough, because if that was the Morris brothers,
right? Are
we having this much talk about it on Get Up and First Take?
Well, we expect it from the Morris brothers, don't we?
No, but I'm just saying, like
well, they did when the Joker went back at him.
It's magnified more because it's LeBron.
Okay. Draymond said he has refound his love for the game. Golden State's number 1. Is it any mystery that when Draymond has his head in the game and keeps his mouth shut, haven't seen many texts from him this year, that they are doing better?
Well, they're doing better because right now the second best scorer on the planet is getting it done.
Okay.
Big time.
Big time. And I think when you got you know how it is. When your boy's back, you start feeling good about yourself again.
May I interrupt to say that it's important to me that we speak the truth here and we speak our truth and this, that, and the other. I've got to retract something. I just looked at that video over and over. It is absolutely his open fist that gets him. I swore this for the last 2 days. I'm looking at this and I thought it was an elbow. He catches, it starts with the elbow and then his hand comes out and I thought that was completely by accident. I'm watching it as slow as my computer will absolutely let me watch it. And it looks like an elbow quickly, but it is his hand that's not completely closed, but it's his hand that catches him right here. Steve, you're 100% correct. I had to look at it because I'm like, what did I miss? And I'm watching it again. Looks like an elbow, but it ends up being his hand that catches him across the mouth. You called. I wouldn't have looked at it again, Steve, if you didn't say that. I would not have looked at it again. So I got to own mine, right? I thought it was an elbow the whole time. So that kind of makes me feel differently. I thought it was an accident, and I really did. Anyway, Draymond, number 1 scorer, number 2 scorer, go for it.
I think he's having fun. I mean, he's back to having fun. You got Steph out there doing the things he does. It makes your life a little easier. And the young guys for them are starting to step up. They're playing a fun brand. They've always played a fun brand of basketball. And the other guys are almost ready. I watched him today in practice wearing the number 77.
Full practice.
Wearing the number 77. So Golden State's a sleeper. Right now, they'd be my pick.
I don't think they're a sleeper. I talked about how fun they look, and they got this young core, and Clay is not even back yet. And of course, I stashed him on my fantasy team so that when he does, hey, look, I'll take the empty spot that he cannot play right now. He's worth keeping out there. How long is it going to take this roster for the Lakers? You know, I'm a Lakers fan, but the NBA is talking about it. And right now, the Lakers are down by 2. They were down by 20-something earlier.
Just came back. I got it on back here as well. They just
we'll go back to LeBron. I mean, LeBron is going to have them in the thick of things when it matters the most. As long as he's healthy and the core.
And not suspended?
He's not going to. I mean, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Like, yeah, he did do it on purpose, but that's not what we expect from LeBron, and that's not what we're going to get as a norm from LeBron. But if he keeps that group healthy, he will figure out how for them. They're going to have to fight Golden State, but I'll pay money to watch those games.
Gosh, yeah, I think it's going to take a little older team though.
It's going to take a little bit longer.
It's Russ that I can't figure out.
I can't either. That's starting to frustrate me.
He's the piece that's. I hate saying it because I love him as a player, but he's the piece that right now just doesn't fit.
It's not fitting right now. And I mean, he's getting some numbers. I mean, he's getting 16 and 10 and 8, but that comes along with 7 to 10 turnovers. And, you know, that's extra opportunities for the other team that we cannot. We're not so good that we can give up 7 to 10 turnovers for one guy, equaling 19 to 20 turnovers as a team per game. We can't do it.
But I will say one thing for him. I do believe he's bought into this team.
Okay.
I just don't think he's found his niche and how he fits yet.
Well, he's still getting a dunk every other game.
But we've seen Russ where he could be little go his own way, so to speak.
Right.
And he's not doing that.
Right.
Like he's bought into being a part of this team. So I think if they can get him to figure out his niche and where he fits, I'd love to go out west and pay for that 7-game series.
All right, the Wizards have cooled off a little bit. They've dropped a few spots, but, you know, they don't have Hachimura back yet. They look pretty damn decent. They let, I can't remember who they played yesterday. They let somebody get off on them with 8 threes last night. Who did they play last night?
Charlotte.
Yeah, that starting point guard over there got wicked with 8 or 9 threes on the Wizards. And they
shot the one from the logo. He shot the one from the logo late.
Yeah, he did. So
little ball, and I think that was like his third double back to back.
No, not Ball. Who else is on that team?
Well, Ball is the one that was hitting last night. He was on fire.
Yeah, but somebody else.
And
I gotta go look.
He walked right across half court and shot the ball at the logo, looking like a little Steph Curry.
Little Dame in him. You got a box score from last night, Casey?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now.
Someone had a bunch of threes on them last night. But what are we thinking about the Wizards, Steve? They look good, but they're starting to cool off now.
I told you in the beginning that this was fool's gold, but I was happy to see them winning. They don't have enough to last.
That's what it is.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs, but
Terry Rozier,
middle to the bottom.
Terry Rozier lit it up last night. All right,
Steve. Look, my thing on the Wizards. Look, if they can play 6 to 7 to 8 games over 500 throughout this year, I mean that is a huge success. One more big piece away. They make it fun, and they make it fun playing decent defense. Even I know they lost to Charlotte last night, but they're still only giving up like 109. We're used to Bama's putting up 120, 139 on us a night. So
Right.
it's trending in the right direction. It's a little weird that when Bradley Beal comes back, they lose a couple, but I mean, he's so damn good anyway. So it just makes it fun, man. Look, here in DC, we got fun things happening with our Capitals, the Wiz, and the football team, baby, and Coach Turner.
Gotta give love to the
Spirit,
the girls soccer.
the Spirit.
Champ.
Yeah,
Washington Spirit. We posted on Instagram. Washington Spirit are the national.
Gotta give them some love.
They are the soccer. Can we get that on the ticker, please? The Washington Spirit have won the National Soccer Championship after the season they had. I am so glad. Coach gone. Ownership is in peril because they had some not nice things going on there, and those women found a way to go ahead and win a national championship in the Women's Soccer League. I ain't mad at them at all. Krissy will get that on the ticker when we come back. But in the meantime, let's go to break, Krissy, and we will be back after these messages. Building your brand is an important part of your business growth. By advertising with Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill, you'll gain the exposure and brand recognition behind our podcast. From season to season, we retain 92% of our advertisers. With category exclusivity, your business will benefit from our popularity online and during the podcast. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill equals exposure on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and more than 15 listening platforms total. Inquire today and let's partner to build your brand.
At Peace Players, we use the power of sport to unite, educate, and inspire young people to create a more peaceful world. We offer support programming, peace education, and leadership development to those living in communities in conflict. We challenge the hate that is driven by the fear of our differences. We bridge divides between people through the game of basketball, and we develop young leaders who help to change perceptions. Find out more at www.peaceplayers.org.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
Insurance Alliance Group manages the gap between damage appraisal estimates from your insurance company and what you are rightfully owed based on your policy. They work on behalf of policyholders with claim assistance and disputes to maximize claims. Insurance Alliance Group serves as professional advisors and trusted advocates. The Insurance Alliance Group handles business and home property loss. Request a free claim review with the property loss professionals. Insurance Alliance Group. Visit us at insurancealliancegroup.com or call 866-574-4773.
portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. This segment's partner is the Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Gentlemen, this is a season of thanks. I am thankful that you two are on this screen. I'm thankful to have Krissy back in the studio. But let's talk about what Thanksgiving means to us this time of year. Coach Turner, you have the floor first, sir.
I mean, it's family. I mean, it's an opportunity to gather with family, friends, take some time away from the hustle and bustle of the world. Appreciate your loved ones. Appreciate those good people around you, and just take time to be with them and see how they're doing and enjoy a little festive cheer. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's kind of like that break you need at this time of the year, especially in the work field that I'm in. With school and counseling and coaching. It's that little opportunity to re-energize with the people who mean the most to you.
Coach Casey, Thanksgiving. I know it's you know what, you are big on family and all that. That's no surprise, but give me your breakdown on Thanksgiving and what a couple days from now means for you.
You know, I think to me, Thanksgiving just sets the tone, right? It sets the tone when the weather gets really cold, and it's starting to get cold. And obviously we have the holidays coming up, and whatever religion you are, whatever you're celebrating in the holidays, and as we lead into a new year, I think it's beautiful that we find time here in late November, leading up to December and then a brand new year, that, you know what, we take time to think about the things we're thankful for, because if we don't, we're taking things for granted. And that's what I love about it. Coming off the summer, coming off the fall, weather gets cold, we have time to get together. No gifts yet. Just tell people that you're thankful for them, that you love them, to eat some good food and have some traditions. I think back, growing up, we would go down to the shore, whether it was like down at the beach or the Eastern Shore, and be together as a family. Seeing my siblings coming back from college when I was young, and just so many great memories. Throwing the football with my dad, whatever it was, and I really put it as setting the tone towards the end of this year. Let's be thankful. Let's not look back and be so pissed about the year that was, but let's be thankful. Let's end this year with a bang. And that's kind of what Thanksgiving means to me.
Miss DJ Krissy.
Kind of mirror what everyone already said. Just, kind of a time to pause all the crazy that is everyday life. And, enjoy friends and family and just be thankful for those that are with us.
So I'm thankful for, as I've gotten older, I've become more thankful. I've become thankful that I've been able to see success through the eyes of many of my friends. Even you, Casey. I haven't known you as long as I've known most people in my life, but the success you've had in lacrosse that I actually never got to personally witness, but the success you're having now and making the moves you're making, and to know that as you are happy in what fulfills you, that is awesome. To see Steve getting back on the court, to see Krissy back here, this studio ain't the same without her. I'm very thankful for those things. Each year, for the past several years, well, starting back in 1990, I started feeding homeless folks. And some people may not know this about me. And it started because with Tony Langley, Steve, we had a football banquet and there was a lot of food left over. And Tony gave me the food and said, do something with it. And I went into downtown D.C. and I fed homeless people. If you're sleeping on a grate, here's some food. And that idea kind of grew year after year, and I took donations, and we gave away coats and hats and gloves and food and hot chocolate. And I went out in my truck, and, we had these Gatorade, big 5-gallon things of hot chocolate, and we're, giving them out to the homeless and all that. And then, it kind of got away from me. And then one year, Chelsea said she wants to do that, and she didn't know I did it. So we went out, and we made hundreds of sandwiches, and we took them out to people. We went to a homeless shelter, the whole nine, and we fed people. But the Thanksgiving idea is something I do with a gentleman named Marquise. And I will take this time to pat myself on the back because I need people to hear what the season is about. We started off with 100 meals. Then we did 200 meals. Then we did 500. Then we did 1,000. And tomorrow we're going to do 4,000 meals throughout Montgomery, Frederick, and Prince George's County. I'm personally going to be at one school where we're going to feed about 1,500 people. And these families are in need. And it was overwhelming when I went to drop meals a couple of years ago because I didn't know the families were going to be right there to accept them. And I even got teary-eyed. I thought I was just dropping off the meals. But we make sure that we connect with the family. We'll be in Langley Park tomorrow at Langley McCormick Elementary School. And that community has a high farms rate, which is free and reduced meals for students. And we're going to feed those families. And it reminds me of my grandfather who made me go out every week with him to the Capital Area Community Food Bank for the church and buy food at 10 cents a pound and take it to the church. And the third Thursday of every month, we would feed everyone that needed something in the church community. To me, that's what it's about. I love the food. I love the football. I'm going to be happy. My kids are going to be happy. But, what good are we if we don't serve others? Steve, if you're not at the school with your program, what good are you? It's not all about basketball. And you know that. Casey, what good are you if you're not helping the mental wellness of these athletes you're training? What good is Krissy if she's not there for us when Paula's father passes, several weeks ago and she became the friend I didn't know I needed her to be? So that's what it's about for me. And I'm thankful for each of you. Casey, I'll give you a hard time. You know that. But it's fun and all that. And Steve, you're the big brother and, all of that. So we're going to keep this train rolling. But I'm thankful for each of you and that each week we have a place to come to where we can be ourselves and all of that. And Steve, I'm especially thankful because for all the years I've known you, you've never made me feel like the little brother. You've always included me in your circle, even when I didn't know I deserved to be there. Let's go to our first break, and we will be back with the final word. Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend.
The final word is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
Oh, man.
We are back, and it's time to wrap this episode up with some thanks and, of course, our final word. We invite you to become a friend of the program. To do so, go to turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. We'd like to thank our Season 3 friends, Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Justin O'Neill, Sean Parker, Diane Penisevich, Amy, Dan Noah, and Ellie, Richard, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, and Timothy Whittier. Become a donor, sponsor, or partner by visiting turnerando'neill.com and click Media Kit. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill will put your brand in front of thousands of listeners and viewers each week. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube by simply going to turnerando'neill.com and clicking any of the social media icons. Before we sign off, thanks to our listeners and viewers, this podcast is fueled by you, and we appreciate your support. Thanks to DJ Krissy, our engineer, who makes us sound and look good each week. Coach O'Neill, your final thoughts. Barking on Bamas.
Barking on Bama's. Glad to be sitting in the chair. Sorry I didn't miss this last segment. I hope I didn't mess anything up there. Everybody got really excited. Listen, I think in a nutshell, what you just said, Kurtis, in the last segment is one of the coolest things I've heard in a long, long time. So thank you for sharing that, for shedding that light onto this season that is and what you do. It is about service to others.
Wait a minute. Did I shine that flashlight?
You shine the flashlight. Not the iPhone 3 flashlight. You shine the big police flashlight. Deep down, baby. The extra flashlight. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy it. Much love. Krissy, so good to see you. And just thanks for having me be a part of the team.
DJ Krissy, your final thoughts.
I think it was a great episode. It was good to be back on Mental Health Day. Just, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody and, you guys, everybody listening, everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Coach Turner.
Krissy, are you sporting an infinity scarf?
Yes.
I mean, Steve, look at you, Mr. Fashionista. I mean, maybe you were at Paris Fashion Week with James Harden.
Oh.
Who knows?
Maybe, but I won't tell.
All right.
But I'm excited and happy to have our crew back together today. So
absolutely,
it definitely has made my day and started off our Thanksgiving right. And excited just to spend some time with family over the next couple of days, and super excited. See if we can go put one on somebody on Friday. And,
Maria Goretti.
Get this season started off right. Excited to have these guys back on the court, and man, just thankful. Right time to be thankful to have an opportunity to be back to some normalcy in all aspects of life, not just the basketball piece, but being back to school, being back to work, being around my colleagues, and most importantly, being able to be there to do what we all say we do. And for me, it's when I'm at Gonzaga, it's about serving the kids. And so I'm back in a position to be able to do what I feel like I do best, is serve the youth.
All right. Thank you for that, Steve. The quote is mine. I'm thankful that the Lakers act like they want to play right now. But here is my quote. If your mind is empty, it is always ready for anything. It is open to everything. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. Suzuki Shinyuru He wrote the book Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, one of my favorite books. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. DJ Krissy, let's pull that.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our advertisers, our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group LLC, Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties, our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy. All material is the exclusive property of the podcast and may not be copied, rebroadcast, or used in any way without the written consent of the podcast. The views, ideas, and commentary of podcast guests are solely their own and not necessarily endorsed by the podcast. You may submit questions, podcast ideas, and commentary to turnero'neillpodcast@gmail.com. No compensation is offered for submitted material. Should we choose to use your idea, comment, or question, you agree to your likeness, social media identity, and/or information being used on the podcast. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is recorded weekly and distributed via Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more than 15 podcast platforms in total. You can also view Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest episode drops. Some portions of the podcast may be pre-recorded. Join us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and subscribe. Our website is www.turnerando'neill.com. Advertising opportunities are available.